Hi, I'm Amanda Tice from CuisineInsight.com, and today we are at the second annual New York Wine Expo at the Javits Center. Join us as we explore the Grand Tasting, which is composed of 600 different wines from 170 different winemakers. Also, we will be speaking with Kevin Zraly, who is an award-winning wine expert, about wine trends as well as how to tackle a wine list. I'm here with Kevin Zraly, who is a wine expert, formerly from Windows on the World. Everyone has their wine list when they come to a restaurant, and they're always confused. Give me some basics on how to navigate through a wine list.
There actually is no science. Here's a wine list, by the way, in front of us. Let's show everybody here right now. This is a great restaurant out of New Jersey. It's called Restaurant La Tour, and a part of a Crystal Springs resort. Look at how many pages it is. It goes on and on and on.
At least 100 pages.
It's over 150, actually. I just looked there. 150 pages. Problem everybody has. If you're at a restaurant like this, find somebody called the sommelier or somebody who's the wine director. That's what you should do. But in general, you're in trouble if you don't know something about wine when you're going to a restaurant, because most restaurants don't know what they have on their wine list to begin with. That's number one. Okay. Number two is there's no science to it. So anybody can create any wine list. And pricing means absolutely nothing. I can get the same bottle of wine in one restaurant that would be selling for $50, and in another restaurant it could be $100. Same exact wine, same exact vintage.
Wow.
So you should know a little bit about. Don't experiment. This is the biggest thing I'm going to tell you, Amanda. When you go to a restaurant, this is not the time to experiment with wine. Experiment at home. Buy it retail.
Are there any basics that people need to know about wine before they even start their wine journey?
Well, let's talk about white or red. Let's even throw rosé in there, if you will. I mean, my whole concept is to start with the basics. So I'm just curious, we've just met. Are you a red wine, white wine, or rosé person?
I prefer white wine.
Okay. Let's start with white wine. What style of white wine? Do you like a lighter style or a heavier style?
Lighter.
Okay. So now I'm going to give you 3 white grapes, okay? This is how we start off the whole thing. 3 white grapes that you need to know in the world. And the first one is Riesling, the second one is Sauvignon Blanc, and the third one is Chardonnay. And I'm saying to you that if you know Riesling, Sauvignon Blanc, and Chardonnay, you know 90% of all quality white wines made in the world today. Now, are there differences in style between a Riesling, a Sauvignon Blanc, and a Chardonnay? If I put a glass of skim milk, a glass of whole milk, and a glass of heavy cream on this table here right now, would you be able to see the difference in color?
Probably.
Okay. Would you be able to smell the difference? I'm not sure. But would you be able to taste the difference in texture between skim milk, whole milk, and heavy cream?
Definitely.
Okay. So keep this in mind. If I had a glass of Riesling, Sauvignon Blanc, and Chardonnay on the table, around the world, I don't care where it's from, Riesling is skim milk. It's light. It's easy to drink. You don't have to age it. Sauvignon Blanc is whole milk, a little bit more body, not outrageously intense. Chardonnay is your big, full-bodied, heavy cream, and that's the one that's going to be the most powerful.
What about red wines? Are there any basics with them that people should know about?
Well, I did 3 white grapes, so I'm going to do 3 red grapes.
Okay.
Okay? There are hundreds and hundreds of grapes out there, but let's go to Pinot Noir. Let's go to a grape called Merlot, and let's go to a grape called Cabernet Sauvignon. And I'm going to say if you know those 3 red grapes, you know 70% of all quality red wines sold in the world. Is there a difference? Pinot Noir is skim milk.
Okay.
Merlot is whole milk, and Cabernet Sauvignon is heavy cream, and that is the way it is around the world. I just finished traveling. In the last year, I've been to 22 countries, 80 different wine regions, and what did I come away with? I don't call it a trend, but let's just say this is the golden age of wine. The wines are fantastic wines, not just wine. Fantastic wine is made throughout the world, from South Africa to New Zealand to Chile to Argentina. Of course, our great wines from California and the rest of the United States. All 50 states now. All 50 states have at least one winery. Actually, at least 2. I'm bringing that up to date. Americans are drinking more red wine. Let's take a look at that. Obviously, in a time of our little economic dilemma, people are drinking wines that are probably lower in price. But with that said, there are hundreds and hundreds of wines that you can buy that are under $20 a bottle. And I'm talking about a $20 bottle of wine that tastes like a $40 bottle of wine or $50 bottle of wine.
Now, in terms of price then, Why are some bottles of wine $10 and others $200 or $2,000?
Real estate. Okay, now I just came back from Argentina, and what I could pay for an acre in Argentina versus what an acre in Napa Valley would cost me right now, or an acre in Bordeaux, or an acre in Tuscany, or an acre in Burgundy. Forget it. There's not even a comparison. I mean, a grapevine you buy that costs $3 or $5. I have my own vineyard, so I buy the grapevine for $3 to $5. But what's the land I'm putting it on? Then everything else becomes the same. Drip irrigation is going to pretty much cost you the same amount. There are so many variables involved in answering that question, but my point is, and I'll make this, you want to talk about trends, I think that the best value in the world, in the $15 to $25 range in the world, is Chilean Cabernet Sauvignon. Then I'll come back and say, even under $20, I'll say Argentinian Malbec, because of the reasons I just mentioned.
Now, what regions would you say are the most popular in terms of wine?
Americans drink American wine. This has not changed for as long as I've been in the business. We're talking about a long time. We won't tell you how many years. But the fact remains is that 75% of all wines consumed in the United States are made in the United States. So it's only a 25% import market, and it really hasn't changed much over the last 30 years. And where are they getting the wines from? 90% of all wines come from California. Then you have number 2 state would be Washington State. Number 3 would be at the New York Wine Expo, New York State. And 4th would be Oregon. But again, all states are making wine.
So can you tell me a little bit about your Windows on the World program that complements your book as well?
I have a school, and actually I was at Windows on the World restaurant at One World Trade Center until September 11th. I actually was the only one there from the beginning, which was 1976. For 25 years I was at Windows on the World. But I started a wine school. And the wine school now has graduated 19,000 students. So these students come in and they're looking to learn a little bit about wine, just like you are, looking for which grape should I buy and what's the best value and all the questions you're asking. So from the school came the book, The Windows on the World Complete Wine Course. And I'm happy to say that it's the next edition will be the 25th edition of the book.
So tell me a little bit about the book. What is it really about? Does it tell you the basics of wine, or what are you going to get from it?
This is the hardest part in the world of writing a book, any book, is to dumb it down. I had to dumb this down. Wine is such a complicated subject. And my students are very well educated, but they still don't want to know it all. So basically, it is taking, let's say I have 2 pages on port. There are books written on port. I have 5 pages on Burgundy, France. Books this big written on Burgundy, France. So how do you put all that information in and still make it fun? So this is now, I'm very happy to say, it's the #1 selling wine book in the world. I think we've sold something like 3 million copies. And it has to do, it's not me. It's because the information in the book is simple and easy, and people who are just starting off in wine, whether they're 21 or they're 71, they're going to get something out of the book.
Okay, give us a little sneak preview. Are there any tips from here that everyone should know about wine?
Well, I think, again, we were talking about price. And in the back of the book, again, I guess my job in life is to find the $10 bottle of wine that tastes like a 20. So in the back of the book, I have the best wines, I think, that are out there that are under $10 a bottle. I think there's another list which is at least 150 wines between 10 and 20. I even go as high as $50 on the best values, and I taste them every year. I retaste the wines. So far this year, well, not this year, but over the last year, I've tasted over 6,000 wines.
It's quite a few.
Yeah, I don't want to break it down to a daily thing. People get nervous about it, but it includes a lot of international wine judgings and stuff like that.